旁人難明了道理，是我心中一剎之美。今天我與你重逢像不記，又將當天一些再説起，仍然難形容是你，漸令兩心都不再躲避，終於再插滿火花於天地，熱刺地追逐一個心理，在這溫馨的日子溫暖地。
I'm back. I'm back on YouTube.
Merry Christmas, I love you. 為前程轉變天氣去獎真你，明白若要苦甘到愛的
Obvious globe.
需要擁着你，似聖誕快樂不變這般真理。
So good. I'm back on YouTube. Merry Christmas, Hake.
Merry Christmas, I love you. Merry Christmas, I love you.
Crack that whip, esoteric. Swing that hammer. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful, beautiful music. YouTube couldn't say no to Christmas with Jacky, says Carver531. That's right. Yes, my strike expired because I got a strike mid-show on the Hake Report last Friday, and so I'm back mid-show on the Hake Report this Friday. Isn't that sweet? Yes, it is. I love YouTube. No new super chats. I appreciate the support, guys. Oh, I should open the treasure chest, though. Let's open the treasure chest. Let's see what we can do for the red-headed stepchildren. 250. Because you're worth it. You deserve it. Shout out to GMG Jim, Misty, Eric from where? Eric from chat, right on, and Kid Combo 1 and Potleaf. Thank you guys. That's cool. Mike in Canada is on the line, been on hold. Mike in Canada, how you doing, man?
Great, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you? Oh, did you say great?
Yeah, I'm fine,
okay.
I'm fine.
Nice. I asked you twice. That's a sign of an unconscious person. Hey, is this your first time calling my show, Mike?
Yes.
Nice. Welcome.
I was just wondering if, can I call myself a Christian if I don't read the Bible? I don't know why I'm slow, so I don't want to read that. It's too much for me.
Are you a French Canadian?
Yes.
Nice. What an honor.
French Canadian are real slow, my friend.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that. Well, there is JF, but JF is kind of smart, right? He's smart but slow, maybe.
Yeah, we slow but smart.
I think that you can still be a Christian and not read the Bible. What the heck?
Because I met those two guys from United States, by the way. I don't know why they're here, but I know why they're here, but it's far away from home for them. And they are Mormon, Catholic, Christian Mormons.
Oh, okay. So they're missionaries to Canada, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
They from one from Utah, the other is from Arizona. And if you don't know, right here in Canada, where I'm from, it's very cold, so I don't know why they move here.
That's funny, man.
Where they're from, it's like the desert.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's true. Utah is a desert.
I don't know about Utah, but Arizona, there's
Oh, yeah.
like desert, very sunny, dry.
For sure.
And out there
Beautiful.
it's like snowy, very cold. And that's it. But I went to their church. I never read the Bible, like I said.
Yeah.
And all they do is very, very Bible thumping all day long.
Right.
And when I go there, I don't feel nothing. Like Jesse once said, you go to different church, you talk to different people, and never felt something. And those guys are supposed to come here today at 4 p.m. It's like 1 p.m. right now where
Okay.
I'm from. And I just don't know what to tell them, really.
Oh. So they're
Like-
coming in, they're coming to preach to you. You don't have to tell them
Yeah.
anything, man. You just, if you want to hear what they have to say,
I
are you just
want to hear what they have to say, but I don't know, man. They ask him questions.
Yeah.
And they always respond with the Bible.
Oh, yeah. Right. They refer
So
back to the
I don't
Bible.
know how to talk with them, like, personally, like, what's
Yeah.
from their heart and their soul, because it's always Bible, Bible, Bible. Like,
Yep.
I did like Jesse, and I asked him, what is love?
Uh-huh.
But I said to him, smoke on it. Don't tell me right now.
Oh, okay.
And he said, I'll read my Bible and I'll let you know. I was like, okay. What you think about that, man? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do, eh?
Are you
What
so are
I
you
do
trying to
there?
preach to them while they're trying to preach to
No,
you?
no, I don't know. No, I don't preach to nobody.
Okay. Okay.
I just listen to what they have to say, and I ask simple questions to make my mind around it, not to preach to nobody.
Yeah.
It will be great. I'm very far from LA, very far,
Okay.
and I just can't come like that at the church with JLP, and
Right.
so.
Do you watch online? Do you listen?
Yeah,
do you listen
I
to
watch
the podcast?
it online. I watch it online every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
But it will be cool for me to have a place like where I'm from to go and talk to people about it. But
Oh, okay. So you're thinking.
it's pretty
So
Catholic around here, and it's the only church that I think is Christian, like United States Christian, if I can say. But it's not it, man. They're just Bible thumping. I don't know.
oh, are you,
I want to read the Bible, but I'm an intellectual person. So if I start reading, I'll make my mind, and I'll do the silent prayer, but I'm not there yet. I didn't go forgive my father, neither my mom.
yeah.
I shaken my boots a lot with my mom, and
Uh-huh.
my father doesn't want to talk to me at all. When I was young, I did something to him, and it's hard to forgive for him.
Okay. So you're praying, but you haven't forgiven.
No, but it's hard. I'm praying every night and every morning.
Yeah.
I pray. I know I got to forgive, but I want to see my dad first, talk with him, and know what about my mother and all those things.
Yeah.
To go after that, see my mother to forgive her. She put me away from my father, but not a lot, and she never talked about him.
Yeah.
He was gone. It was just like that. One day he never came back.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I asked questions, but I was so young that I don't remember about asking those questions.
Yeah.
But I knew he was an alcoholic. I know there's no such thing, but
Right.
he was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And so I reached to him on Facebook, and he just don't want to see me. He said that he's scared of what I'm gonna do
Oh.
when I'm done. When I was young, I was like a thug.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Are you
I
white?
that.
Are you white or black? Or
yeah, I'm white, but black in the inside, man. If you
Okay.
know how it's run over here, you'll understand. There's no dad here in the families. We all grown up with our moms, and there's a lot of anger around here.
Yeah.
Mama spirit everywhere. But anyway, one day I was downtown where I live, and I crossed his path. I was like 14 years old, and I was like with my friends, and we pretty much attacked him.
Whoa.
So now he's scared of me.
So you and your friends attacked your dad
Yeah.
when you were 14?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Like he was on a bicycle, and
Oh, he was on a bike, so you knocked him off.
at him, like, and I took a wood stick on the ground, put it in this wheel of this bicycle, and
Whoa.
spit it on. Oh, I don't want to go in detail.
Yeah.
It's not for kids.
Right.
Even though I was.
I'm laughing, but that's terrible, man.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean,
it's
you were
terrible.
14. You were a little thug.
Yeah.
You were raised by presumably angry mother and didn't understand your father.
A lot. My mom was crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes she would cry out loud, and she said that she gonna K-word herself and things like that. And yeah, a lot of anger. So when I found out about Jesse, because at first I thought he was very funny.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of truth
Right.
behind his funny image.
For sure. Definitely, man.
Yeah, and I know that you read the Bible a lot, so...
I used to. I haven't read it much lately. I would like to, again, more. There's a couple of books I need to be reading. But you don't have to read the Bible to be a Christian. No. I mean, the Christians didn't even have a Bible at first. I mean, they had
that's right.
scriptures.
I mean,
but
inside of us, we all know it.
But don't have a mindset that you're an intellectual and you can't handle reading the Bible. Just watch yourself and read it if you want to. Read it if the Lord leads. You know, you get if you get a hankering, if you would like to read the Bible, you ought to. And don't. But you're right. You are intellectuals. You may be intellectual, so you don't have to. You just catch yourself if you catch yourself getting too into it or puffed up on the knowledge about it. But I would not recommend getting into like a debate with the Mormons. It sounded like you're asking them questions, which is fine. That's cool.
I just asked him question to know about them. I don't very.
Okay. Are you looking for a church?
What?
It sounded like you're looking for a church. Are you looking for a church? Looking for people?
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
And
well, I mean, you can go around people whom you somewhat agree with. You don't have to agree with them entirely if you.
Nobody, I don't want to say nobody, but there's not a lot of people that agree with me.
You also don't need people, though. Are you?
That's right.
You said you beat up your father with friends. Are you a type of guy who has a lot of friends, or used to have a lot of friends?
I used to.
Maybe you don't need
now
people
I'm
right now.
27, so it's been a long time. It's been a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You may not need to be around people right now, and just seek God, seek what's right. See yourself, and then you'll go and forgive your mother and father, or whatever. And then stuff will happen. Like people will come into your life or whatever. You working right now?
Yeah, I got 2 jobs.
Oh, right on. Yeah, so you're fine. You see people all the time at work, I bet.
Yeah. But you can start.
No, you don't want to. I'm not saying start a conversation with them. You don't.
No, I see a lot of people in a day. I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to have conversations with a lot of people. I'm not only thinking about God and all this stuff. I got a life to run too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
take care of myself.
When you're thinking about God, you're thinking about your imagination, what you think about God, what God is.
No,
so you're not necessarily.
Man.
People who think about God aren't really thinking about God. They're thinking about what they think God is. They're not actually thinking about God.
It's so tricky, man. It's so simple, but at the same time, it's so hard, man. Not to let your mind take control of you. So hard.
I recommend you read. If you want something, a reading assignment from me, I recommend you read one of the Gospels where Jesus preaches, like Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Read one of those, like Matthew maybe. And there's one part where Jesus said, "Don't think about your life."
That's what I'm trying to do. For real, since I started the silent prayer, I've never been, not say happy, but it's calm.
Yeah.
Like everything is relaxed.
Right on. That's
Back
cool.
then, I was very, very aggressive, angry, and everything was in a rush. Like, and I was playing it's like I was an actor. Like I was somewhere and I was trying to, like, be angry and mean to people. Like, look at me, I'm a mean person. Don't talk to me that way. I'll punch you.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's gone. I don't think of myself anything.
You're in are you in your 20s?
27.
Okay. Right on, man. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're on the right track. Just keep working those 2 jobs. That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then just
life over
let
here
you...
is very expensive, man. You have to work. You cannot just... You can, but your life will be very, very, very flat.
You can ask your dad if he'll FaceTime with you or whatever.
He really don't want to talk with me. When I text him on Facebook, he blocked me right away.
Oh, he blocked you. Oh, okay.
No, right away. And I talked to his, niece.
Yeah.
Something like that. And she said, oh, he's a good man. And he just want you to leave him alone. He want to live his life alone.
When you texted him, if you don't mind my asking, if it's not too personal, what did you tell him? Or what did you ask him?
Just found I was willing to see him, talk to him.
Oh,
but
okay.
I never said in my text that I was going to forgive him or something like that. I don't want to force it, you know?
Yeah.
If he don't want to, he don't want to. I can't force him.
Right. Well, if it's appropriate, you could just send one last message like, oh, I just wanted to find out what happened and let him know I'm sorry for being mad if you're sorry for being mad.
I am sorry for being mad because I don't really know him and he never did nothing to me.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I was just angry because my mom used to say that he was an alcoholic. That's the only thing that she has said once about him, that he was an alcoholic, and that's why he left.
Yeah.
And he left me with a lot of anger. A lot.
He left her with a lot of anger? Or you?
No, me.
Oh, you?
Oh, her. I think she don't really care.
Yeah.
And she's like the kind of mom that will say that she did everything for us, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, she said that she did everything for you guys?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. That's too much. Mothers do too much sometimes.
If she had do everything for me, maybe I'll never beat my father.
Right.
You know?
I know.
It's horrible.
Well, you can go in.
Hake is horrible too.
What's that?
Your music taste is horrible, man.
Oh yeah.
But I love you, man.
Right on. No, I understand that.
But
That's
your
funny.
music is horrible. Hey, is Hassan there?
He's talking to somebody else, I think. Oh, Hassan.
No,
yeah,
I think
Hassan.
Hassan.
Oh, I thought he was talking to somebody else.
Win on God.
He's singing Hassan's new song.
I love the visual. Keep going, man. Keep going.
Right on.
Keep going, Hake. I love your show. It's one of the best shows on the JLP network.
Appreciate that.
Keep going.
And
I'll let you on that because I don't want to take all of your time.
No problem, man. Appreciate your call. Call again sometime.
Really a straight question on my part, so.
No, you're fine.
If we continue, I'll just deblatterate.
Well, Hassan says thank you.
God bless you.
All right. You too. Take care. Mike in Canada with that French accent. Waiting on God, waiting on God. And he's waiting on me. That's Hassan's new song. It was played on the Jason Lee Peterson show yesterday. Quintin is a first-time caller in California. Quintin, am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, that's right, man.
Hey.
How's it going?
Going well. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Yeah, so I love talking about these topics, like stuff like racism and things like that. I saw this funny post by this girl on Twitter, like probably like last week. It said something like, guys who don't like small talk, I don't understand them. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, come back from work and be like, hey, honey, you think humanity really has free will? And like, I was like, that's basically how it would be. But so I've been thinking about this a lot, and I was very curious what your thoughts would be, because you talk about racism a lot on your stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like want to like break down definitions. So like, what do you actually define racism as?
Being into race. When I used to think about racism, when I used to think of it as like a real thing, I thought of it as like being into race and putting that above what's right. And so I thought of blacks as being the most racist. And then most of the time when stuff was called racism, I do have some super chats to read. When stuff was called racism, like when a white said the N-word or whatever, I'm like, that's not racist, because they're just calling you that because they're trying to get under your skin or whatever, or they're mad at you. I thought of that as either the truth or anger or justified or normal. So that was I thought of racism in that sense as a false diagnosis. They're projecting that the white is putting race above what's right, but they're not. So that's what I thought of as racism was being. I hardly used it. It never sat right with me like a real thing, because I remember reading about it as a kid. Yeah. I think they used the term racism and discrimination. I remember reading discrimination in the childhood textbook, right?
Yeah, right. Well, see, discrimination too. That's like the other side of the coin. Like, so you're talking about how it's basically placing this racism. First of all, you say that racism is like a system.
I never did, but some people did.
So you wouldn't say that it's a system?
No, I never thought of racism as a system. I just thought of it as an adjective describing, rightly or wrongly describing a person's mindset.
Oh, so how would you define race then?
Race?
Yeah.
Race is like, I don't know what race is, but it's like a group of people. Like whites are a race, or might be made up of a few different races, maybe, not sure. And then, especially nowadays. And then black is a race. Asian, the yellow people are the race.
So it's explicitly dependent on skin color. That's what you're saying?
That's one of the aspects. What's one of the most obvious aspects of them. But the Asians have distinct face shape, and so there's more than just skin color. But yeah, it involves the skin color that most of each group has. Yeah.
So okay, so let me ask you this then. Like, would you agree that? I mean, because this is something that I've thought of. Like, would you agree that like the word race is sort of a placeholder for things like your skin color, your culture, the food you eat, like all of these things that sort of encompass, someone's self-identity.
To a point, yeah. People would say, "Oh, you're so white," because I grew up among Asians,
but it's like, well, what is white? What does white even mean?
Right, because I would have a nice Christian family, right? And we were like together, eating together, and my friends would be like, "You're so white." I'm like,
that's very
okay.
White, yeah. But which is weird to me, because white, I feel like people don't actually think that white people have a culture, or that there is culture around whiteness, whatever that is, which is like, the Western European culture, the history of that, the foods you eat. I mean, like cold sandwiches, cold subs, cold meats, things like that. like a lot of that was European. So
Okay.
it's like a big part of that is like part of American culture now.
Yeah.
But American culture though is so mixed up with so many different. I mean, it's a melting pot, you know. So
Yeah,
but
it's changed because of all the different types of people who've come in, and we've adopted some of their stuff, and for better or
Right.
worse. Yep.
So if you're taking the definition of race as like a placeholder for all of these things,
Yeah.
so racism, you're saying, is placing that above what is true.
Yeah, true or right or yeah.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
No, yeah, I do think that's a good way of looking at it, but like I think where I diverge here is like I would actually say that it is a system. Like, because if you look at these other things, I know you really like to talk about communism, man.
Right.
You really like to talk about commie capitalism.
Uh-huh.
But you know, you have all these other systems: fascism, communism, socialism. They're all isms. So
Yeah.
I was just like, well, what is the difference then with racism? I mean, because I feel like if you're putting your race, which is all these different things, as a conglomerate of, you know, your culture, the food you eat, your skin color, how you look, whatever, the way you dress. If you're putting that above all else, then it's sort of, you are in a sense taking out the individual and you're looking at the group. So in a sense, you're sort of adopting policies that are like, we're no longer looking at the individual. We're going to look at the race of this individual.
Yeah.
We're going to treat them differently based on their race.
Uh-huh.
Which is, I mean, that's, to me, that does sort of scream communism, because it's sort of like, it goes into this classism, which is another ism.
Okay.
Which is like you're focused on your group.
Yeah.
Rather than the individual. I don't know. What would you think of that?
If you think of it that way, then racism, judging people or separating people by race, if you're thinking that in that sense, or discrimination by race, then in that sense, if you believe that that's racism, because this is just this word that people use for anything now. So if you're using it for that, then racism could be good or evil or fine or not fine, because separating people by race or accepting people in your immigration.
That is discrimination.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. You have a right. I mean, I believe in discrimination, right? There's discrimination for good or discrimination for evil. And discrimination for good is we used to discriminate in our immigration policy in America, white Christian men of good character, or white Christians of good character, or something like that. So that was supposedly racist, but that was common sense. That was like right. You know, that's like having control of your country, keeping your country. Go ahead.
Well, and that's the other thing. I don't understand, like, how people don't see this. Like, without discrimination, like, discrimination has two different meanings. And this is what I mean by how racism as a system has sort of just seeped its way in. And, like, you have so many things that are taboo now that you're not supposed to say because of social pressures, which is, it's very interesting to me, because it's like that's sort of how you saw a lot of these social states like head in that direction. You know, it became like social consensus where it's like, oh, you're not supposed to say that, you're not supposed to do this, and it just put people in that state where you can't discriminate, you which is weird to me, because without discrimination, like you said, it's just chaos. Like you can't tell good from bad. You can't tell right from wrong, or like true from falsity, which is just, it's crazy to me.
That's why I used to call it, like, when I was early on, when I was a producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I would call racism a false diagnosis, because people call racism always wrong. Like it's always evil. Like it's always
evil. Exactly.
Right. But it's not
with like bigotry.
Yeah.
Which bigotry is its own thing. You want to say you hate somebody for their race? Okay, that's bigotry. You're just bigoted towards that race. But if you say, oh, you know what, I see this black guy walking down the road, I'm gonna actually go out of my way and treat him nicer. You're still being racist. Like, you're still racist because you're like, I'm gonna let this guy's race determine how I treat him.
Yep.
Which is completely ridiculous. This is why, like, this whole Karine Jean-Pierre thing and the White House getting, like, colored people into these official positions. Yeah. It's so racist. Like, I don't understand how people are, like, not, or I don't understand how people are okay with this. It's like, do you not understand? Like, and this is why I'm saying it's like it turns into this system, because it's like, it's the system sort of like probably like a sub-category or subsystem of, like, what you would call socialism, because you're only looking at the race. You're like literally treating people based off their race. Which
right.
It's
special treatment.
Completely ridiculous.
It's special treatment based on feeling sorry for them and pretend and false guilt and false, this mama spirit thing that's got to be so. It makes me want to spit, and it's got to make the blacks with any sense want to spit. To see that kiss-up culture toward them, toward women, toward the gays, toward the other races and ethnicities, but they embrace it because they benefit from it, I guess, or they just like having that false power, worldly, unearned power over the whites, I guess. I guess it's like a hatred. It's not based on. It's not discrimination based on what's right, though. It's illogical mama spirit. Crazy.
How they would use discrimination.
How they kiss up to the blacks and say, "Oh, you're black. You've had it hard in America, and we're gonna give you special treatment." That type of stuff.
And that's why it's so bizarre to me. It's like this weird inversion, because it's like,
right.
That's you're really only making them. I guess when I say them, it's like the black community lesser than they are, because you're just projecting that.
Right.
You're literally saying what they are, and then you're reacting to it. So it's all sort of reactionary in that sense. Yeah. And, like, this is how it is with racist jokes, which I think is funny.
Me too.
Like, I have siblings, like, we've made racist jokes, and it's like, oh, that's, absolutely not. Like, we shouldn't be saying that. But it's like, but like, why? Like, that has nothing to do with you're not Mexican, you're not Hispanic, you're not whatever. Like, why are you saying that is bad for that race when you don't even represent them? You're just saying what's offensive to them, right, without even considering maybe they don't think it's offensive. Yeah. So you're just projecting this idea of what this race thinks is offensive, which we go back to again, which is just racist to me. It's like you're
I know.
Like saying that. Yeah, it's the whole thing is ridiculous. It's like, what are you saying right now? You're literally falling into this racist trap where you're like, oh, well, I have my own ideas and about what Mexican culture is and what a Mexican person is, that I'm just going to, like, project that, and that's going to dictate how I treat this person.
That's so true.
I feel like it's crazy to me how that's just become so dominant now, like, in the culture. Yeah. Like, you can't say certain words, because everybody's just projecting this idea of who they think that person is, rather than just taking it for a human being and being like, I'm going to talk to this person as I would any other human being. Right. So
that's true. It's like that woman I played at the beginning of my show, this female announcer who was interviewing a mother of an adopted black kid who beat the teacher to a pulp over her taking his Nintendo Switch. And the Mama Spirit news anchor spoke for the mother, even though she could have just asked the mother or just not even said it. Oh, I'm sure you felt very bad for the teacher and you wouldn't have wanted this to happen. It's just like what you said. Oh, that's offensive to the Mexican community. The Mexicans don't all think that, first of all.
Right.
The Mexicans know that it's true oftentimes. They say it themselves.
Sure.
And we're in America. We have the freedom of speech. And we are men. We're not moved by people's opinions. And if we are, then we need to get over that. And grown adult ladies ought to be that way too. And children should be that way too. Crazy.
Well, that's the. I feel like that's the real trick is that they just these people that advocate this sentiment or whatever.
Yeah.
They just project that, and then you react to it, and now you're stuck because it's like, oh well, if you didn't react negatively to that, or as if it's not true, then you wouldn't look like you're hiding something. So now you manifest it, and then it becomes a thing. So it's like, oh, you said that because you're racist. It's like, well, no, I'm not. Like, how do we know that's racist? And then it's like, well, it doesn't matter. The consensus is that you're not supposed to say that. You're trying to hide something, so it just looks bad altogether. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's why you just have to be unmoved. Like when Elon Musk endorsed that supposedly anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that didn't even mention any sign of any conspiracy, and it was just a factual cultural reality. He said, "You've said the actual truth." He didn't mean it. You can't. You have to be mean-spirited and evil to project evil into what Elon Musk meant, or what even the person meant. You're the one with the dirty mind by calling what he did wrong. Same thing with Trump. Yeah. They did that same thing to Trump when he talked about the people coming from Mexico. Mexico's not sending their best. He talked about drugs, crime, rapists, and some
It's not
good people.
He's not attributing it to everybody.
Right.
And it's just conflated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's infected the culture big time. We just have to be unmoved by the people overreacting so that it's not devils fighting. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, the demons.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they'll try to get you mad. They lick their chops when whites or independent thinkers get angry, conservatives, whatever you want to call it, reasonable people, because then they can clamp down even more on the so-called freedom of speech and all that stuff and say, oh, see, we're fighting hate, but they're the hateful ones.
Well, it's like it's generalization.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's just this extreme version of generalization, which is bizarre to me as well, because white. It's like those people that say you can't be racist towards white people. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Obviously, you have no concept of what racism actually is.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and like, man, like, I don't know. It has definitely seeped into the culture. I mean, like, yeah, the whole N-word thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is another thing I was thinking of. It's so odd to me how, like, you take the English language, and that's really like the one word that no one wants to say. People will say the F word before they'll say that.
I know. I know. And the
wild.
F word is like, that's one of the most vulgar words you can say. But
yeah,
the N word, people way overreact.
No, yeah, exactly. It's a racial slur, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that, which is weird to me. Like,
the word racist is a racial slur against whites.
It is.
And it's more damaging.
It is.
People lose their jobs being called racist.
Man, it's so crazy. And like you said, if we're taking the original idea of it, it's not necessarily wrong. It's just the system of discrimination.
Yeah.
Which, and like, man, I don't know. And forgot what I was going to say, but
No worries, man.
It's crazy. And
Quintin,
yeah.
are you white or black or what?
So I don't I don't actually identify as white. I don't identify as Mexican, but I have a white parent and a Mexican parent.
Oh, okay.
So,
and they're your blood parents.
correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're
So
born in
I
America.
never,
Yeah.
right, and that's exactly. I don't buy into the identity politics. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, at some point, like if you're taking libertarianism, which is kind of, I guess you could say it props up like individualism, things like that. Like at some point, you're going to identify with a larger group of people, but that shouldn't exclude, the individual.
Right.
And you could say that, I guess you'd have to identify as American, but even then you run into problems with like nationalism. Like I really don't understand people that throw out the whole Christian nationalist. People. It's odd to me.
Are you saying the people who demonize the Christian nationalists? You don't understand the Christian nationalist types, or you don't understand the people who fearmonger about the Christian nationalists?
I don't understand the fear mongering.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too beyond me. Kind of like how people are yelling about Israel being totally Zionist. It's just like a totality of Zionism.
Uh-huh.
I don't know enough about it. I've never met a Christian that's like, yeah, I think we should turn it into a theocracy. Like, I think that's bizarre to me. Like,
yeah,
I don't think as a religion, I don't think Christianity could ever go that far in like the modern world.
Right.
Because it really has no basis for persecution. Like, it's completely opposite.
Right.
So
that's true.
Odd to me. I guess you could just take it to its extreme and go to fascism, but again, I don't think the modern world would ever allow that.
I know.
I don't think it would ever come to that. I think socialism is kind of that's more plausible to me.
Socialism is what?
I would say that's more plausible.
Yeah, in terms of what's going to happen.
Right.
Yep. It's basically what's already happened, because we have such a mama spirit. Interesting, man. Quintin,
right.
is it for my information, is it QUINTON or EN or IN?
It is IN. Everybody always spells it with an O.
Okay.
No worries. Somebody
in the chat spelled it correctly. Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brownie points.
Well, right on, man. Great call. Call me again sometime.
Yeah, man. It was good talking. First time. I enjoyed that racial slur. What was it from something about ChatGPT on your other episode? I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Again, so ridiculous.
Saying a racial slur to save a billion white people.
Yeah, like, okay. And the N-word's the only racial slur we can't say, but we can say other things like wetback and spick and all these other terms that are non-black.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
True.
All right, yeah. You guys have a good one, man.
Thanks again.
Yeah,
all right. Bye. I got some super chats to read, guys. We do have American Anchor Baby coming up at 4 p.m., The Fallen State at noon Pacific time, with this guy who's a venture capitalist type of a guy, young man, and he is funding right-wing causes, I guess. It's cool. Check it out. The Fallen State on YouTube. And the Jesse Lee Peterson on Rumble live streams there, too. Spoiler alert says, I'm back, baby. Frank Costanza and James Hake. And he shares a YouTube link that presumably is Frank Costanza. Let's see if I can blast it for you guys.
I'm back, baby!
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Spoiler alert. I don't know if you guys caught that. I didn't exactly put it over the thing, but it says, he cracked an egg. Frank Costanza. Who's Frank Costanza? I need to be more educated on the Italian culture. I'm back, baby! He tells his wife, I guess. Nice. Right on. Thank you. Spoiler alert. There's a super chat. Oh, he's playing it again.
I'm back, baby!
Carver bought a coffee. Welcome back to YouTube, Hake. In an effort to protect the sake of the channel, the election was totally real. The virus was totally real. We love Ukraine. The earth is flat. Trayvon Martin did not have it coming. Nice. There were a couple on Rumble, some Rumble rants. Appreciate those Rumble rants. A few, actually, on Rumble. Over on, there was one from Paco Tate. Paco Tate. Hake, when you get in on Cozy? When are you getting on Cozy? I got to get on Cozy. I don't know when it's going to happen. I've toyed with the idea of even streaming on Jesse's channel. I don't know. But maybe they'll give me my channel. Maybe I'll do a follow-up. I was told that they invited me, but I wasn't paying attention to my emails at that point, and I couldn't find it, and I don't know if that was true, or maybe they're confused. But yeah, I'd love to be on cozy.tv/Hake. Imagine that. Or /the Hake Report, I guess, but /Hake would make more sense. That'd be cool. Based Nation on Rumble says, I want to give you a music tip. John Frusciante, Frusciante, album The Empyrean. Nice. Thank you for that music tip. And I probably butchered his name. Right on, though. That handyman gave a donation saying, oh, he's the one who said the edgy thing, I think, about the IQ, breeding out the low IQ. And he didn't mean it like that, I don't think. That handyman says, isms are only ideas, not systems. Systems, to me, are forms of structures to produce efficiency. The isms only had speed bumps or the wrong gears throwing timing off to be less efficient. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like you have a mindset that just stops you up when you shouldn't have a mindset. Be water, my friend, as Bruce Lee said, who was also born in San Francisco before there was poop all over every sidewalk. Yeah, I do have an N-word pass. It's true. I wonder what I did with it. Rick is in Hampton, Virginia on the line. Rick, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
What's going on, James, my brother? How you feeling?
Not much. I'm feeling fine. Thank you.
Man, I just want to comment on the week. You remember when William called in and he was talking to Jason?
Yeah, he called into the William from California called into the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and he confronted Jason from Buffalo, said, oh, this is what's happened with these mothers raising these nincompoops or something.
You know when when soon as Jason said, hey, Jason, somebody wants to talk to you. And when he said, who? William said, oh.
That was wild.
I know we was going to be direct with him. You know, Jesse's patient with us. That's why he talks a little more.
Right.
But see, William is one of those guys will be called in the neighborhood, you know, any neighborhood, man, OGs. You know, guys that got a lot of wisdom to share with you, you know?
Oh, okay.
And that's what William, but that's why I consider West. I love to hear him talk, man.
Nice.
I mean, when he calls into your show or Jesse's show, I love to hear him talk, man. He has a lot of sound wisdom, man. And we used to call him in our neighborhoods OGs, man. We had when I was growing up, man, I had a white guy named Mr. Ray Beasley, man. Much respect for him, man. And I had several OG friends. And They were good, great people, man.
When I was a sophomore in high school, that's when I heard the first heard the term OG. And is that short for original gangster?
No. Usually we call OGs like in the neighborhood. You know that old person, that old man that have a lot of wisdom, share with you.
Yeah.
That don't stand for original gangster. When I call somebody OG, that means you're the guy, man, that's in the neighborhood that's trying to spit some wisdom on some of these young people. We call them OG.
And it's spelled capital O, capital G.
Yeah, but I just call them OG. That was my word.
Okay.
It is my word did not stand for original gangster. It was just, but it was really a sign of respect.
Okay. Right on, man.
See, and that's what it was for me, man. When I called him, man, what's up, old Jesus? I'm doing cool, you know, and when I was doing it, I had all kind of mentors.
Stay close to your phone, Rick. It's kind of coming in and out.
Oh, can you hear me now, Gene?
Yeah.
Well, okay, good. And when I was growing up, man, I had white mentors, black, Hispanic, and a lot of them would call OGs, man, because I tell you what, man, they had a lot to do with my statement who I am today, besides my parents. And I tell you, man, thank God for them. But you don't see them no more, man. You see most of these men are just women, emotional, can't learn enough from how to be a female. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's sad.
Yeah,
really is,
but you
man.
can't stamp out the truth. Don't fret about it because the truth will... Old gentleman or original gangsta, says Big Bump.
Yeah.
Old gentleman. Okay, all right. So OG, old gentleman predates original gangsta, I bet.
Yeah, you know what? Just when I used it, like I said, I know it stood for original gangster in the movies and
Yeah.
stuff. But mine, I use mine.
Old gentleman. That makes a lot. That makes a lot more sense. That's from Big Bump.
Yeah, that's why I used it for.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, you always got that neighborhood. You got grandkids and stuff. And
But don't worry about it, man. I mean, don't worry about the fact that they're trying to stamp out wisdom because they can never stamp it out.
That's right.
People will always have it.
been
You can't
around,
stamp
man.
out the light. The light is inside of people. Just as much as they try, all this censorship that they're doing, the shutting down of conservatives and all that stuff, it's not a reason to fret. You're not
But you know what?
God,
Here's the next-
and God's not fretting.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
man.
real quick.
Like right now, how you think? Do you think they're gonna try and steal this election?
I didn't quite get what you're saying. Your phone is kind of bad. It's coming in and out. Like your connection's kind of.
What about now, James?
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me now?
Real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they'll try and steal the election this year?
No, of course not. Well, I'm back on YouTube.
Wow. Oh no, man.
No, they wouldn't do that. They never did that. These elections are totally secure. They're in God's hands.
Hey, that's all I was.
Or the God of this
man.
world's. Maybe they're in the God of this world's hands.
Oh, now if it's in the God of this world's hands, everything can go down.
Right. I guess they can stifle the truth a little bit, can't they? It's great hearing from you, Rick. I appreciate you, man.
You too, man. Hey, I see y'all at church service Sunday, man. Love y'all. Be blessed, James, John, Nick, Joel, and Jesse. Y'all have a God bless weekend. May God bless you and y'all families, man.
Thank you. Take care, man.
No problem. Yep.
All right. Bye. Oh, he got me. I'll get you next time, Rick. That's my fault. Hake is slow. He really does need to do more push-ups. Yeah, I only did like maybe less than 10. Man, that's terrible. That really bothers me for some reason. I don't have any more time to do this stuff, so guys, this has been the Hake Report. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Great calls, guys. I appreciate those. It's Frog Eyes Friday. I'm going to have to bleep over. There is a beep word in this track. Kids might want to cover your ears. Ladies, you may want to leave the room. Some of the ladies cuss more than the guys. It's like wrong. But this is called World's Greatest Concertos by Frog Eyes from the 2003 album The Golden River. They're Canadian, and it's gruff, and it's great. It's Frog Eyes Friday. Adios, America. Bye. Thinking that San Onofre.
My body is born all day long. Masters, what lost through allocations, caressing the thing. The trees and limbs and the wind they swing and point and still they ring. Elbows and songs they sing. We stones and we calculate the body and emasculate the body and hold the burning waters, the cups of burning waters. Now trees crack bones and dipped in wax and burning cones and all the celebration. Our masters burn the burning station. We are the stones that made the fox, the children, the lost and same
Wretched soul.
Everybody sings, the woodcutter has heard the same bodies born today. So hold my body and ding, my body and I know what she said and I know what she said. Oh, I said it,
I said it, I said it.
I said it, I heard what she said and you know I know what she said and I said it,
I said it, I said it.
I said it, and baby's got a cold and your crime's getting old and same.
Wretched soul.
Clean up the bamboo and save the world to a
Wretched soul. So good. Adios, America. Bye.